So let's move on to our last topic, the PvP ritual, as they referred to it. Holtzmann, do you want to walk us through what is going on with PvP in year 2?
Yeah, the new weekly PvP ritual. So basically, they liked that the Nightfall was kind of that PvE reward, and they wanted to bring that to the players that just play PvP as well. So now that, so basically now in year 1, they didn't have that good ritual. So if you complete all the weekly, all of the weekly bounties for PvP, then you get access to the last weekly quest, which will grant you a Nightfall level reward. And all of this is just done straight through PvP.
Right. Yeah, let me read what they say about that. Each week, Lord Shaxx has a bounty called The True Meaning of War. Completing this bounty each week, which requires completing the PvP weeklies, grants players Nightfall tier rewards. So it's cool, yeah, they have at the end of the line this True Meaning of War, which will drop something great if you get that far. So yeah, like I don't grind PvP a lot. I know you guys do. Like, yeah, do you think this is all in the right direction? Is this what you wanted for PvP?
Absolutely, absolutely. Basically, my clan, the only reason we ever do the Nightfall is, one, so we can get more rep to get more Crucible packages, and then a possibility of a reward. And then we just play PvP because it's for the social experience. There's the raids aren't big enough right now, so if we want to have 6 players in a party having fun, we go do PvP now because that's just what we like doing.
Yeah, I like that. That was, I mean, ongoing feedback for a very long time. It's like if you loved PvP, you just were not getting rewards, and you felt like, what is the deal? And then you're ranking like at the top all the time, and you're like, man, and when someone does get a reward, it's not me, and they sucked. That was me.
I have countless screenshots. It's like I'm the top guy, 13 KD that match, nothing, and then everyone else gets stuff. And
Yeah,
like,
so they've taken a lot of this feedback into play. I mean, Sean, for you already like PvP a ton. Do you feel like great, or do you feel super excited about this?
Well, I'm very excited. I mean, like most PvP players, I think like the main draw of PvP is the competitive edge, right? Like I don't need to get a reward. Like destroying another team and playing really well is its own reward. But now that they're adding a Nightfall tier reward, there's incentive to want to do it even when I'm not playing well or when I'm not having like a good on day or whatever. So that's going to be really cool. I have a crew that I run with, and I know they're all going to be really excited, and it's just going to give us another avenue to kind of chase down these exotics that we won't have had in year 2, which will be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I don't know if you clarified this, Holtzmann, but just to reiterate, there's a daily heroic, daily PvP reward now, right? Sorry, as I'm thinking about so much of producing here. Did you mention that at the top?
I didn't mention that at the top, but
so yeah, the same deal of like having to play multiple characters to get this reward. That's not going to be a thing for daily heroic and daily PvP. So they've increased the rewards
and weekly PvP apparently as well. Luke Smith actually, like, he literally just tweeted out. There is a like the weekly heroic and PvE, there is a 3 times week legendary mark payout for weekly PvP playlist as well.
Nice.
So, interesting.
And it will
more rewards for us.
Yeah,
fantastic.
And the point is this stuff's going to account completion. So again, you can stay in one character if you want. They're trying to reduce friction with year 2. That is very clear. So I'm definitely excited.
There's more ways to accrue marks too.
Yep, exactly. So, I'm excited. The gear has got to pay off. Maybe one quick note, since we've used some of the gear. I mean, Holtzmann, of what you've used, do you feel like year 2 gear is good, or is it too early to say?
It's really way too early to say.
I feel the same way, and that's the point, right? I feel really.
I've used one weapon of each class, so it's like I can't make a comment.
Yeah, me too. Like I've used a couple of the stuff, at E3 and so on, and like they didn't give you anything super duper good anyway. And the exotic, none of us have used. They haven't even shown. So, yeah, Sean, you wanted to.
Plus all of the numbers are changing, so it'll be really difficult to tell whether or not we're more or less. I mean, they've said we're not going to be less powerful, but the numbers that we do in terms of damage will be different and probably lower, since the damage cap is actually going to be 280, is what I read.
Yeah,
160 for year 1, 280 for year 2.
Right, but they did say
we're currently at 365.
But they're translating. Each point now means something else, and they've said it's not going to be less powerful.
Right, they've said we're not going to be less powerful. Yeah. But I do think that we're going to go in there and we're going to shoot a mob, and it'll do the same amount of damage in terms of percentage of health.
Yeah.
But the number will be smaller. Yeah, and that's going to throw a lot of people off. Like, it's just going to be this. The first month is going to be a lot of players jumping in, trying all sorts of weapons, trying all sorts of strategies, and really kind of just figuring out what's good. So it's hard to say whether or not weapons and armor are good.
Yeah, we're on the metric system now. In fact, yeah, if it doesn't exist out there, let's start getting like go test some weapons, crit shots with full stuff on, and like let's track some of that stuff and then come back.
I'm actually doing that.
Oh, there you go.
After we're done, I'm cataloging every single exotic weapon's damage.
Thank you, Planet Destiny. Thank you, Holtzmann. We would love to do it, but it takes a lot of time. So hey, tweet at him if you're doing some of this research. Where can they find you?
If you want to find me personally, you can go to @Holtzmann_PD. And if you want to find any information about Destiny, planetdestiny.com. We are the one-stop shop for everything Destiny.
Yeah, and leave info in the Fireteam Chat group on Facebook. It's actually a private group, but there's a ton of people in there, and like they let any serious fan in. I didn't create it. Like I'm lucky to be in. So we're gonna finish things up, but I did want to end on the last question of like. Got 2 PvP players in the room. Iron Banner this week. Any tips as we're headed to year 2? Like, should we be playing it? Is there, like, if you haven't gotten something yet, any pro tips on that?
Get your last experiences with Thorn and Last Word in, because it's all changing after this.
I'd honestly say get to rank 5 and pick up that auto rifle. I'm interested in the changes that are coming to auto rifles, and even though I absolutely hate auto rifles right now, the roll on that one, it looks interesting. So just get that, put it in your bank if you have space, and see if it's good after the patch.
All right. It's a good final pro tip. All right, we are going to close out the show. As always, be sure to drop us a review if you're listening to us on a podcast. Otherwise, you can always check us on IGN, YouTube, IGN, Xbox app, PS4 app, and everywhere in between. You can find Patrick here as Holtzmann on Planet Destiny. And we're going to close out the show. So thank you very much, Patrick, for joining.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And as always,
Guardians out.